Hey everyone, have you ever dug through your pocket change, hoping to find something special, only to come up with a bunch of nickels and pennies that are worth, well, not much? But imagine this: you pull out a 1981 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and boom, it's worth $1.2 million. I know, it sounds too good to be true, but I promise you, this penny isn't your average coin. Stick around, because today, we're diving into the world of the 1981 no mint mark penny, the hidden gem that's got coin collectors buzzing. Alright, so let's get into the juicy details. First off, let's talk about what makes the 1981 no mint mark penny so special. You're probably wondering, why is a coin from 1981 worth so much when we're talking about a penny that barely gets you anything at the vending machine? Well, here's the deal: the 1981 no mint mark penny is one of those rare anomalies that collectors love to hunt for. You see, most of the pennies produced in 1981 have a mint mark, the little D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But the 1981 no mint mark penny doesn't have one. It's like a secret member of the coin family that was overlooked by many until collectors realized it's a bit of an oddity, and in the world of coin collecting, oddities can mean big bucks. And now, here's where the story gets even crazier. Why is this penny worth so much? It's because there were a few pennies minted without a mint mark, possibly due to a mistake during the production process. Only a limited number were released into circulation, making them highly sought after by collectors who love rare, quirky coins. To add to the intrigue, coins without mint marks from this era are extremely rare. Finding one in good condition is like striking gold, or at least, finding a $5 bill in the washer. You might be thinking, okay, but how do I know if I've got one of these 1981 no mint mark pennies worth $1.2 million? Great question. Here's the secret sauce: you'll want to look closely at the penny. If it's a 1981 and doesn't have a mint mark, nothing after the year 1981, congratulations, you've got yourself a potential treasure. But hold up, that's not all. The condition of the penny plays a massive role in how much it's worth. Coins are graded based on their condition, ranging from good to mint state. So, if you find one that looks almost perfect, well, it's time to break out the magnifying glass and prepare for a possible payday. The 1981 no mint mark penny in mint condition, with sharp details and no visible wear, could fetch up to $1.2 million at auction. That's not pocket change anymore, that's a serious chunk of change. Here's a little personal story for you. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, just killing time and looking through boxes of random stuff. I spotted a jar of coins, and of course, I had to take a look. I'm no expert, but I know enough to spot an interesting coin. Turns out, I found a few pennies that caught my eye, and one of them was a 1981 penny, with no mint mark. I held on to it for a while, thinking, this might be it. My moment. But unfortunately, after a closer inspection, it wasn't in good enough condition to be worth a fortune. But that experience taught me something important: sometimes, the most valuable things are hiding in plain sight. So always keep an eye out for those coins that stand out, even if it's just the 1981 no mint mark penny. And now, I know you're probably running to your coin jar to check if you have one of these hidden treasures, but remember, not every 1981 penny is going to be worth $1.2 million. It takes the perfect combination of rarity and condition. But here's the thing: this is just one example of many valuable coins that could be lurking in your change drawer or family heirlooms. So, before you toss that old jar of coins in the back of the closet, take a moment to see if you've got something that could make you a coin collector's hero. If you enjoyed learning about this mind-blowing 1981 no mint mark penny, trust me, there's a whole world of rare, valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. And guess what? I've got tons more tips and tricks to help you identify these gems, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a future episode. We've got a ton of awesome coin stories coming your way, and I don't want you to miss out on your next $1 million discovery. Hey, what's up, everyone? Ever wonder if that penny you just found in your couch cushions could be worth more than the change in your wallet? Well, grab the dusty old penny, because today, we're talking about the 2002 D Lincoln penny. Spoiler alert, it could be worth a lot more than you think. In fact, some of these pennies are selling for upwards of $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, million. That's not a typo. Now, before you start checking your pockets and your piggy bank, let's dive into what makes the 2002 D penny so special. The 2002 D penny is not one of those rare, mystical coins that only come up once in a blue moon. It's the one that people often overlook, thinking it's just another run-of-the-mill penny. But here's the kicker, it's not just any penny. This little coin has some very specific traits that set it apart. And once you know what to look for, you might just have a small fortune hiding in plain sight. So what makes it so valuable? Well, it's got a little something called an error, and no, it's not just that tiny scratch you got when you tossed it in your pocket with your keys. We're talking about a serious, minting error that gives this penny a much higher market value. You see, in 2002, the mint produced a number of pennies with slight yet significant flaws, like double die errors and misstruck coins. These errors make the coin a lot rarer and much more desirable to collectors. And guess what? That's what drives up the value. But here's the twist, most of these errors are small. We're talking microscopic differences. So while you might find a standard 2002 penny for face value, if you've got one with a minting flaw, it could be worth millions. I know it sounds crazy, but there have been documented sales of 2002 pennies with errors that went for a whopping $1.3 million. It's like finding a golden ticket, except the golden ticket is, well, a penny. You're probably wondering, why is this penny worth more than my car? What's the deal? Well, let me tell you, it's all about rarity, and this little guy is rarer than you'd think. Imagine you're at a garage sale, and you find an old, dusty lamp. At first, it looks like every other lamp, but then you realize it's not just any lamp, it's a rare antique from the 1800s. You're not just buying a lamp, you're buying a piece of history. That's how collectors view these error pennies. They might look like normal pennies at first glance, but one tiny mistake can make them a valuable piece of history. Now, let me give you a quick personal story here. Back when I was younger, I used to collect coins because I thought I'd become the next coin mogul. My grandma gave me a jar of old pennies she'd saved over the years, and I was so excited. I spent hours going through them, convinced I'd find a rare one worth hundreds of dollars. Turns out, I just found a lot of 99 Linn pennies. Bummer. But imagine how it would have felt if I had found one of these 2002 error pennies. I'd probably be retired by now. So, how do you find these million-dollar pennies? Well, it's not exactly easy. You've got to be looking for the errors, and most of the time, that means you've got to really inspect them under magnification. We're talking about doubling, misprints, or even mismatches between the obverse and reverse sides of the coin. It's all in the details, folks. If you're serious about checking for these rare pennies, grab a magnifying glass and start searching through your stash of 2002 pennies. You never know, you might just find a hidden gem. Before you go rushing to check your piggy bank for any 2002 coins, hit that subscribe button. I'm always diving into more valuable coins, and you don't want to miss out on future tips that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. Trust me, the next diamond in the rough could be sitting in your drawer right now. Let's keep this coin hunt going, and remember, the more you know, the more valuable your collection could become. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Have you ever pulled out a penny from your pocket and thought, could this little guy be worth millions? Well, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny. But hold on, because today we're diving into the wild world of rare coins, and there's one in particular, a 2005 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yep, you heard that right. A penny. Stick around, you won't believe the story behind this coin. Alright, let's break this down. You've probably got a ton of pennies lying around in your house, right? We all do. Some of us even have those old pennies that are so dirty, you wonder if they've been through a few lifetimes. But here's the thing, the 2005 penny, the one without a mint mark, could be sitting right there in your coin jar, and you'd have no idea it's worth more than your car now. Most of the time, pennies are, well, just pennies. They're practically the same as pocket lint when it comes to value. But every now and then, a strange anomaly pops up in the coin world, like the 2005 no-mint mark penny. In 2005, the U.S. Mint accidentally released some pennies without the mint mark, which normally indicates where the coin was made. The mint mark is usually placed under the date to let you know if it came from Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in this case, it was missing, which led to one of the most bizarre and valuable coin mistakes in history. And now, you might be asking, what makes this so special? Is it just a printing error? Well, sort of. The lack of a mint mark made this penny a rare mistake. You see, most people didn't even realize what they had when it first came out. The value wasn't obvious to collectors right away, and that's often how some of these coins end up being worth more than you can imagine. But over time, savvy collectors started realizing that this was one rare find. It wasn't long before the coin was discovered to be extremely rare, with only a few known to exist. Some of these pennies have sold for upwards of $1.4 million, yes, one penny for over $1 million. Insane, right? Here's where it gets funny. I actually remember a time when I came across a coin that I thought was rare. It wasn't quite $1 million find, but it definitely made me feel like I'd struck gold. I found an old nickel in my couch cushions, because let's face it, that's where all the best finds are. I thought, this could be the one. This could be my ticket to fame and fortune. Well, turns out it was just a regular nickel, but it was a fun few minutes imagining I was the next coin millionaire. So, moral of the story, always check your spare change. You never know what's lurking in there. Now, why exactly is this 2005 no mint mark penny so valuable? Well, rarity plays a huge part. The U.S. Mint didn't intentionally produce these unmarked coins, so the number of them in circulation is incredibly small. In fact, only a handful are known to exist, and that makes them highly sought after by collectors. But here's the kicker, it's not just about being rare. The condition of the coin also matters a lot. A coin in mint condition, with no wear and tear, is worth more than one that looks like it's been through a war. A coin's condition is graded on a scale, and the higher the grade, the more valuable it is. So, if you've got a 2005 no mint mark penny in perfect condition, you might just have a lottery ticket sitting in your pocket. And here's a fun fact to impress your friends: did you know that the U.S. Mint typically makes millions of pennies every year? Yet, only a few thousand of them are actually worth a fortune? It's like the U.S. Mint is secretly making treasure, and we just have to hope we find it before someone else does. Alright, folks, the bottom line is this: if you come across a 2005 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, check it out closely. It might just be worth a small fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking: how do I even know if my pennies are valuable? Great question. The best thing you can do is educate yourself on rare coins and start looking through your change. Who knows? Maybe that random penny you thought was worthless is your ticket to early retirement. And hey, if you want more tips on coins worth money, rare finds, and strategies for building your own collection, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on the next big coin discovery that could make you a millionaire. Plus, I promise I'll keep it fun and lighthearted so you won't fall asleep during the coin talk. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Let me hit you with a quick question. Have you ever dug through your spare change, hoping to find a penny that's worth more than your morning coffee? Well, buckle up, because today, we're diving into one that might just blow your mind. Picture this: a penny, small, shiny, and seemingly worth a whole lot less than the quarter you just tossed in your pocket. But wait, this penny isn't just any penny. It's the 1949 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and its value? A whopping $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that costs less than a cup of coffee could be worth a fortune. How cool is that? Stick around, because I'm about to tell you all about this ultra-rare penny, why it's worth so much, and how to spot one if you're lucky enough to have it lying around somewhere. Let's get started. Now, let's break it down. The 1949 Lincoln penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which means it has no mint mark, just like the regular pennies you'd find in your pocket. But here's the kicker: not all 1949 pennies are worth a small fortune. Only a very small percentage of these coins are in perfect condition or have a special variety that makes them worth a ton of money. So, what makes this penny so special? Well, the coin's value is tied to something called grade. This refers to the condition of the coin, whether it's in excellent, mint-like shape, or if it's been through the ringer. Most 1949 pennies are, well, pretty worn out, so they're only worth a few cents. But there are some in near-perfect condition that can fetch huge amounts, even up to $1.50 million. I know. You're probably thinking, well, I've definitely got a 1949 penny in my collection somewhere, but how do I know if it's worth anything? Great question, my friend. Here's what you need to look for. As I mentioned, a perfect, shiny 1949 penny with no wear is rare and valuable. These are known as MS-67 or higher, which means the coin is practically flawless. They shine bright like a diamond, and collectors will pay big bucks for them. A 1949 penny in its prime will have a rich copper color. If you find one that looks like it was used as a golf tee, it's not going to be worth as much. Even if the coin is in excellent shape, finding the right buyer is key. There are collectors out there who are willing to pay a premium for these coins, but there are also a lot of them out there that are just sitting in circulation, alright? So here's a little relatable story for you. When I was younger, I thought I hit the jackpot when I found a penny from 1909. I was so excited, imagining it was worth hundreds of dollars. I showed it to my mom, and she was like, "Oh, that's nice, honey, but no. It's not worth anything." Long story short, it was just a regular old penny, and I learned a valuable lesson. Don't get your hopes up too much, but also always check your coins, because you never know when you'll come across a real gem. So, there you have it, the 1949 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny could be worth $1.5 million if you happen to find one in perfect condition. It's an absolute treasure for collectors, and if you're lucky enough to own one, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But hey, don't stop here. Keep hunting through those old coin jars, check your pocket change, and who knows, you might just find a hidden gem yourself. And if you want to keep learning about rare coins, tips on how to find them, and other valuable coin strategies, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I've got more awesome tips coming your way. Hey there, fellow coin lovers. So, have you ever checked your pockets, looking for loose change, and thought, maybe there's a gold mine in here? Well, if you happen to have a 1995 D Lincoln penny, you might just be holding a ticket to a seriously lucrative treasure chest. No, I'm not kidding. You could be sitting on a coin worth up to $1.6 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.60 million. I can see the wheels turning now. Is it time to go hunting through my couch cushions? Keep watching, because I'll explain why this penny is worth so much, how to spot one, and maybe even how you could cash in. Alright, let's break it down. The 1995 D Lincoln penny is, in fact, one of those coins that's way more valuable than you'd expect from your average pocket change. So, why is this particular penny worth so much? First off, it's all about rarity. We're not talking about just any old penny. This one has a unique feature, a double die error. In layman's terms, this means that the coin was stamped twice, creating a slight overlap in the design. The result? A penny with some noticeable double vision on the lettering and numbers. This error makes it super rare and super valuable to collectors. Think of it like when you've accidentally hit undo on a text and sent it twice, except, instead of looking silly, you've got a rare piece of history worth a small fortune now. Let me tell you, finding one of these babies is like trying to spot a unicorn in a field of horses. You can't just casually pull a 1995 D double die from your pocket without a little luck and some good eye training. So, how do you spot this gem? Well, here's the key. You need to be looking closely at the lettering and the numbers on the obverse, that's the head side, of the penny. If you see that doubled effect, then congrats. You might just have a winner on your hands. Now, I know what you're thinking. But wait, how can I tell if my penny is worth $1 million, or if it's just a regular coin I'll toss in the jar to go spend at the store? Great question. You can't always tell just by looking at the penny under your regular kitchen light. You'll need to get the coin under some better lighting and perhaps use a magnifying glass to inspect the details closely. And if you find that sweet double die error, you'll want to have it graded by a professional to confirm its authenticity and get a proper value. And trust me, you don't want to sell that penny at a yard sale, thinking it's worth a quarter. The last time someone tried that, they probably regretted it when they found out it could have paid for their kids' college tuition. Speaking of which, this kind of reminds me of my own coin discovery moment. A few years ago, I was rooting around in my grandma's old coin jar, just doing what anyone would do, mindlessly searching for spare change. I found a shiny penny from the 70s, thought it looked cool, and tossed it aside. Fast forward a few weeks, and I discovered that it was a rare, uncirculated penny worth hundreds of dollars. I could have kicked myself. So, the lesson here? Always double check your pennies, and if you're thinking, well, I don't have a 1995 D penny, should I be looking at other coins? The answer is yes, absolutely. Keep an eye on your change, because there are other valuable coins out there hiding in plain sight. You just have to know what to look for. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1995 Linn Penny. If you've got one, or if you're inspired to go treasure hunting through your change jar, good luck. Who knows, maybe you'll walk away with your own little piece of coin history worth a small fortune. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and, most importantly, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on more tips, tricks, and treasure hunting strategies for finding coins worth big money. I'll keep digging around, and I'll bring all the latest coin secrets straight to you. Remember, the next time you're sitting around with a handful of change, take a moment to inspect it. You never know, you could be sitting on a gold mine or at least a couple $100. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep those pennies close, and your eyes even closer. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. You ever had one of those days where you're just looking through a bunch of pennies, thinking, what could these possibly be worth? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the 1951 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and trust me, you might want to double-check your coin jar because this little guy could be worth a whopping $1.7 million. Yep, you heard me right, million, so grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into what makes this penny so valuable, why it's worth so much, and maybe, just maybe, you've got one of these bad boys sitting around at home right now. Let's get started. First things first, let's talk about the 1951 penny itself. It's not one of those coins you'd typically spot and think, wow, this could be worth a fortune. It's a classic Lincoln wheat penny, which by itself doesn't scream high dollar value. But here's the kicker, the 1951 penny without a mint mark is where things get exciting. Now, here's the deal. Most coins have a mint mark on them, telling you where they were made, either Philly, that's Philadelphia, for those not in the coin know, Denver, or San Francisco. But the 1951 no mint mark penny? It doesn't have one, and that's what makes it special. The thing is, most people don't even know this coin exists, or they mistake it for a regular OL 1951 penny with a mint mark. But the no mint mark version is rarer, and that rarity is what boosts its value big time. Why is it rare? Well, in 1951, the U.S. Mint didn't make many of these no mint mark pennies, so if you happen to find one, congratulations. You've stumbled upon something truly unique. And that's why, in mint condition, a 1951 no mint mark Lincoln penny can fetch around $1.7 million. No kidding, let me tell you, I once had a similar experience with a coin, except, well, it wasn't a $1.7 million penny. It was actually a 2002 penny I thought was super rare because it had this weird greenish color. Turns out, it was just a penny that spent too much time in my car cup holder next to a pack of gum. I mean, who knew that gum could cause a penny to look so vintage? Anyway, back to the real stuff now. Let's talk about how to spot a 1951 no mint mark penny. You're going to want to look closely at the date and make sure there's no mint mark under the date. If there's no letter, that's a good sign. Next, check the condition. Obviously, the better the condition, the more valuable it is. A coin that's been worn down to the point where Lincoln looks like he's been through the ringer isn't going to fetch anywhere near $1.7 million. But, if you've got one that's shiny and clean, you've got something special, and hey, I get it. Coin collecting can feel a bit overwhelming. You're probably thinking, okay, but how do I know if my 1951 penny is actually worth $1 million, or if it's just another one of those 1951 pennies that no one cares about? The answer is simple, get it appraised. There are tons of coin experts out there who can give you an accurate valuation. So, in conclusion, if you happen to find yourself with a 1951 no mint mark penny, don't just toss it in your pocket like I did with that poor, gum-infested 2002 penny. Take a closer look. It could be worth up to $1.7 million, and that's not something you want to miss out on. Just think about what you could do with that kind of cash, vacation, new gadgets, or maybe even add a few more rare coins to your collection. Who knows? Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one thing. Coin collecting isn't just about finding rare coins, it's about having fun, learning new things, and maybe making a little extra money along the way. If you love discovering hidden treasures like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips, tricks, and strategies on finding coins worth money. I'm constantly diving into new valuable coins, and I don't want you to miss out on any of them. So, if you enjoyed today's video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin that turned out to be worth a lot more than you thought. Let's hear your stories. Hey there, coin lovers! Have you ever found a penny in your pocket and thought, it's just a penny, and tossed it aside? Well, I used to do that too. But let me tell you, there are pennies out there that could be worth a small fortune. One of them is the 2007 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln Penny. Yep, you heard that right, a penny that could be worth up to $1.8 million. No, that's not a typo. So, before you toss the change in your jar, stick around, because today, we're talking about how this seemingly ordinary penny is anything but. Alright, let's break it down. The 2007 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln Penny isn't just your run-of-the-mill copper coin. It was struck during the year we celebrated the 200th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, which makes it extra special. So, what makes this coin stand out? Well, it's all about a rare misprint and its historical significance. A lot of these pennies went unnoticed and ended up being spent like any other regular penny. But some lucky folks discovered these little gems, and today, they're worth around $1.8 million. Yeah, I know, I can barely believe it too, but how does a penny get to that price? Well, the magic happens when we talk about coin collectors and errors. Coin collectors are a unique bunch, and when they spot something rare, they're willing to pay big bucks for it. In the case of the 2007 D Lincoln Penny, it's got a unique characteristic that sets it apart from other pennies in circulation. A minting error, often called a die crack, can make this penny extremely valuable. And if you're lucky enough to find one of those rare versions, boom, you're holding onto $1 million coin. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was going through my spare change, just doing what I do, when I stumbled across a penny that looked a little different. I checked it out, and nothing. Just an old penny with some weird marks. But hey, it looked a bit unusual, so I hung on to it. Fast forward to a coin show, and I ran into a collector who instantly recognized the markings as a sign of a mint error. Sadly, my penny wasn't worth a fortune, but I couldn't help but laugh at how close I was to having a rare find. Lesson learned: people never overlook a penny, so if you're lucky enough to find a 2007 D Lincoln Penny with a noticeable error, don't just toss it into your spare change jar like I did. It might be worth way more than you think. The price can vary based on the condition, rarity of the error, and how well it has been preserved over the years. And now, let's get to the fun part. How do you spot a penny that's worth $1.8 million? You're looking for something unique. First, check the date. It's gotta be from 2007, and it has to have the D-Mint mark. Then, look for any unusual imperfections. If there's a visible die crack or another error, you might just have something that's going to make your wallet a lot heavier. So, next time you're cleaning out your pockets or going through your change jar, don't just pass over those pennies. That seemingly insignificant little coin could be the key to a small fortune. And hey, if you're not sure about the value of a coin, you can always hit up your local coin expert. Or, better yet, stick around here for more tips and tricks on how to spot coins worth big money. If you're enjoying this content and want to stay up to date on the latest coin news, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on finding your next hidden treasure. Trust me, you won't regret it. We're diving into the 2009 Lincoln Penny. It's not just any penny, it's got historical flair, a touch of controversy, and it might just make you a millionaire. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. How many pennies have you carelessly tossed into a jar or lost in your couch? I used to do that too until I found out some of them could pay for a house. Now, I'm practically diving into furniture like Indiana Jones on a treasure hunt. Stick around, and I'll tell you what to look for. Let's start with what makes the 2009 Lincoln Penny so special. First off, this penny celebrated Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. To honor Honest Abe, the U.S. Mint released 4 unique designs showcasing different stages of his life: a humble log cabin. It's like Lincoln's version of Started from the Bottom. Young Abe reading a book while taking a break from chores. Can't you just hear him thinking, one day, people will fight over my face on a coin? A dashing Abe standing in front of the Illinois Capitol. It screams, future president right here. Lincoln hard at work, likely thinking, is this penny thing going to be a big deal in 2009? Now, here's the kicker: some of these pennies, especially those minted in Denver, with a D-Mint mark, have become incredibly valuable. Why? Errors, rarity, and a dash of coin collecting magic. Some 2009 pennies with unique errors, like doubled dies or striking flaws, have sold for $850 or more. And if you've got a near-perfect specimen graded by PCGS or NGC, its value can skyrocket to over $1.80 million. Here's a quick personal story. I once found a 2009 Linn Penny in my car's cup holder. At first, I thought, cool, a penny for the gumball machine. But then I noticed it looked a little different. I checked it out online and boom, it was one of the special designs. Turns out, it wasn't worth a fortune, but the experience taught me never to underestimate the power of pocket change. So, how can you spot a valuable 2009 Linn Penny? Look for the D4 Denver. Is it one of the 4 special designs? Doubling, off-center strikes, or weird markings can mean big bucks. A shiny, uncirculated penny is worth more than one that's seen better days. Alright, so what's the moral of the story? Next time you see a penny, don't just toss it aside, give it a second look. That little coin could be the jackpot you didn't know you were sitting on. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin tips and stories coming your way. Who knows? Your next penny find might just fund your dream vacation or at least a really nice dinner.